Welcome to qualifying. It is the Alfa Romeo Team Series event this week, and as team captain we've got to put in a good performance for Alfa Romeo. We've already given you your strategies on Tuesday. We've got Zhou Guan Yu and Valtteri Bottas both with that 10% boost. So tracks to come, we've got Mexico, Brazil, Austria and Montreal fully wet, and this is the car setup we're using, still running that biased on the cornering. So let's see, can we do something good? Race number 1 comes from Mexico. Would be a big confidence booster this week. Zhou Guan Yu hasn't got the best race start. That's the problem we may have. But let's have a look. See where we qualify. P13 for Zhou Guan Yu and P17 there for Yuki Tsunoda. So I'm going to go Frost. I mean, we might get done by the race start a little bit, but let's go, where are we? Frost. I'm sure I added it on. There we go. We're going to go Soft for Zhou Guan Yu. We're going to do Cuppa, and we're going to try and do 3-3-2 with Tsunoda. Not sure how powerful it will work compared to a 4-4, but we're about to find out. We're about to get underway, and it's a perfect start and an average. Yuki Tsunoda trying to get through the middle. You can see that Zhou Guan Yu poor a start, and it only sees us P14. I mean, we're absolutely stacked, but now we're into P14. Swapped drivers round. Zhou Guan Yu hasn't made a great start at all. Only P16. So race start seems to be the issue for himself. As we then approach the final few corners, and we can get the Alpine, hopefully. We can now get the Alpine and always conserve down the straight, as we do now. Remember, we're doing 4-4 though with Zhou Guan Yu, so we could come back pretty well later in this race. Tsunoda's the one that's doing the 3-3-2. We need to try and push him past. We get Tsunoda. So Zhou Guan Yu will look after for now. And here's a slow-moving Valtteri Bottas. Not anymore, because we're ahead. Can we get Russell as well? Not quite. P10. And we're not actually that far off with Tsunoda, you know, for a one-stop. I might try and push a one-stop here. I think we're only about 1%. Maybe we don't need Frost. And there's a move by Tsunoda up the inside. And so can Zhou Guan Yu. He goes up the inside as well. Can we do 4-4 comfortably? I think we can just about. And I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go around. We don't need Frost, really. And we're going to come back for mediums. Give us some more attacking options on this final stint. Here is Tsunoda looking at the back of Max Verstappen. Can't get the job done. We can't really boost him either. We'll definitely go for medium. So we might double stack a little bit here. Which I don't think was probably the best thing to do, was it? We probably should have split the strategies. But we're only going to lose about a second. So it might not be the end of the world as Tsunoda doesn't get ahead of Zhou Guan Yu. Comes out really slowly. And here's over Zhou Guan Yu coming out too. So we need to put a bit of pressure on early doors. Well, we were past then. The game put its brakes on for us. But we're now into P20. We're going to keep boosting. We need to make up some positions. There's the Sergeant done. Passed. What about Tsunoda on Tsunoda? That would be nice. Thank you very much. Through we go. Making up a few positions now. With Zhou Guan Yu as well. Still going to have a fair few amount of hard tyres to pit. So we're going to push again. And how have we lost that position? How Stroll absolutely flew past us on them softs. And then we come back through. It just doesn't make any sense sometimes. As we push again. All about the pushing at the minute. As we then get Magnussen who comes in. Down the straight we go. We're going to make a few positions into P number 8. Zhou Guan Yu's going to make up some positions. It's not many. And I think Zhou Guan Yu definitely needs that extra bit of race start boosting. We're on lap number 7. P8. So as we lose connection a bit, Tsunoda starts the last lap. And can we move through? P8, P13. That's what we need. Perez P7. We can get the job done. Look, and Zhou Guanyu finishes P13, and that is okay, 30 points in the first race. So apologies for the connection issues there. We kept losing connection near the end of the race, so we've had to take the add the inputs where we could. So it's a bit of a disjointed one, but we moved to Brazil. Chance of rain in this one. I'm interested to see if it does rain, because it'd be interesting to see what strategies they do. And we've got a bit of rain potentially coming through. So we're going to do a 4-5, and we're going to do a... We could probably do a 3-3-3 here. We're going to use Herald as well. So 3-3-3 and a 4-5, but the rain could mix this up a little bit. 3 minutes and 45 until that rain does come in. Zhou Guanyu now with the +10 on the race start, and it's still an average start, but it's a bit better than it was in Mexico because it's moved up to P12, P11. Finally gets into P11. And we're lagging again on this race. I don't know why. Very laggy. But Tsunoda moves himself through, or tries to, and now goes around the outside of two of them. Yuki into P9. We're going to keep him boosting. See if he can just get Lance Stroll. How can we not get Lance Stroll there? Surely we could get Lance Stroll. And yet again, we still lag. And here's another move this time. Can't get it done. P9, P13. It's so jolty. I don't know why. Can we get Stroll this time? Job done. P8. Zhou Guanyu, that's okay. We're going to earn up some power unit now. With Tsunoda looking after his tyres. And he's going to make a move here on Perez. Into this first corner. I reckon he's lining him up here for a big move up the inside. And that move finally does deliver. P7. And we will be pitting at the end of this lap. I'm going to push him a little bit though. We can use the tyres next time around to earn the power unit back. It's P5 at the minute. Nearly P4. And now Tsunoda's going to come into the pit. So he's done well in that first stint, but this two-stop could be very interesting as Zhou Guanyu comes down the straight. In P9. We're going to boost a little bit, I reckon. And we're through. Still got another chance of some points. Tsunoda will look after now, power unit. We'll come out on hards and we'll push pretty hard to see if we can close some gaps. You can see there Tsunoda's making his way through on that soft tyre. And here comes Zhou Guanyu into the pits from P8. Tsunoda making his way up as well. Up to P10. As Zhou Guanyu now will start to come back out. So just a bit of power unit boosting now for us in P10. We'll boost a little bit though, just to try and close that gap all the time. Just adding a few percent here and there. And that sees us right on the back of Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll's going to hold us up, so we need to boost past him. Job done. And we can come and pit at the end of this one. Zhou Guanyu. P19. Now, if no one else pits, this is going to be pretty tough for him. And we've got a few pit stops ahead. See if we can get past Bottas. Good train of cars here. And there's one of them. And there's two. Good move as Tsunoda comes in. Bit of a chaos in the pits then at this point. And Zhou Guanyu, we've got some rain coming in. And Zhou Guanyu's up to P9. Great move. Still, chance of rain. And what do we do? Do we pit or do we not pit? Should have pit, probably. I don't think there's any point in pitting here. I think we're just going to have to hold out. As Sonoda comes down the straight P10. We're going to lose that position as always. I don't think it's worth doing the wets. I don't think it's going to get wet enough. If we got a gap, we're going to lose a fair amount of places. Although we can potentially make some up with these softs. Sonoda all over the back of Zhou Guanyu. Does get him. And they can boost now our own Zhou. One in the pits, they're going to be using wets. So it's going to be interesting to see as they come back out if they will catch us. It's looking pretty like they will. You can see that one car out the pits now. We're pushing Sonoda. 9 laps of Brazil causing some excitement here. And it is getting really tough on them hard tyres now. But here comes Sonoda, P5. Great move. And it's going to be Zhou Guanyu, who looks like he's going to struggle. We're trying to boost the power unit up the hill. Can we survive in P9? I think we are. And we do. It's 36 points in Brazil. We'll happily take it with a bit of eventful weather conditions in the end. Let's go to race 3, and it comes from Austria. Looking at a couple of stops here. Doing a 4-3-3 and a 3-3-4 is the chances that we'll be doing. Zhou 14, Sonoda 19. We're going to be using Sonoda's race start here. Going to do him on the softs, and we're going to go Zhou Guanyu on the mediums to do 4 laps. So we'll do the opposite effect. We hopefully will get a good start with Zhou Guanyu. But Bottas, Sonoda should. So we're going to try and do this start with Zhou Guanyu first. And Sonoda, look at that, already through a few positions. Lovely couple of moves off the start. And look at Sonoda, P8 off the launch. That is a perfect launch. Excuse the pun. And we do get P6 and P11. So we're going to use this race start for the first lap or so. Really try, gain some early positions. And we get P4 and we get P9 with Zhou Guanyu. Great start. Let's see if we can get one more, shall we? There you go, P3. And we've got Zhou Guanyu right behind Sergio Perez. Moving to the first corner would do nicely, and that is easy in the end. How about Hamilton? Oh, and we're through again. What's going on? Zhou Guanyu's on fire. And we're still jolting a little bit. But all live, all live. P3, P7. Coming in the end of this lap. So we're going to have to boost it up a little bit. See if we can just create that little bit of gap. We've got P2. And that will help a little bit. Zhou Guanyu's looking in a very good point scoring position here as well on the mediums. There's a few cars pit, including our own. Sonoda's going to come out in a bit of a gap here. Not that much gap in the end, was it? And already P7 for Sonoda. Zhou Guanyu is going to come into the pits, go on to the softs. Sonoda's up to P6. Getting that clear air. Nice and early. And then we can look after and gain that power unit back for the final stint. And you can see Sonoda is into the lead. Can he get out clearly Zhou Guanyu? He can. And he's got George Russell there as well. Let's try and get initially past George Russell. Oh, I can't get it done. Got to focus on this driver now. And we say focus, we almost mean lose a position. Sonoda's looking good here. He'll come into mediums. Zhou Guanyu's all over the back of Russell. Finally gets him. And he's got quite a few cars ahead. When are all these pitting? Probably this lap and next. As Sonoda comes in for the medium treatment. Yes, please. Nice and easy. Quite quickly will do. And he's out. P number 3. What about Zhou Guanyu? looking for a move. He's going to pit this lap. And he's up to P7. Rival looks like he's on a pretty good strategy here as well. He's on the hards, no power unit left, but we've still got a pit. We just got to hope that we catch him up. P1's disappeared out front. We're closing all the time with Tsunoda. Zhou Guanyu gets out P12. And I forgot to unconserve Tsunoda, but we'll move. And we now approach lap number 9. Here's Zhou Guanyu looking for a move on Hulk. Not got much left at all on his power unit though. We're going to have to try and earn some of that back. But what have we got pitting? All pitting ahead, so I think full steam ahead here. To try and push. Use a bit more power unit, but we'll hopefully jump some as they all pit. Tsunoda takes P1. McLaren's coming out. We're not going to get that position. We're going to get the Ferrari of the rival. And here comes the other ones coming out. So P6 for Zhou Guanyu. Got a Ferrari and a Red Bull ahead. We're already past the Red Bull to make P5. Can we get P4? Carlos Sainz. Yes, we can. Can we hold off? Because when we lose power unit, we almost lose a position usually. But not today. It's going to be a very respectable 45 points at the circuit in Austria. And then there was one qualifying race left. The very tricky track of Montreal. And to add to it, some absolutely horrid weather of 100% rain. Now, undercut is going to be so powerful here, and it's going to be the only thing that we can really do as well. So, what do we do? 4 to 6 laps, Zhou Guanyu. That's pretty good. We're going to go Merlion and probably Herald on Tsunoda. Merlion, because Zhou Guanyu is going to do a 3.5 here, and I want him to be pretty quick in clear air, or as fast as he can be, let's say. Tsunoda should get a perfect start, and he does. Tricky place to get a good start here. Famous last words as Tsunoda races through into P number 13. But we'll keep on boosting. So Zhou Guanyu's got good tyres here. And Tsunoda's got good overtaking because he moved himself into P12, P16 for Zhou Guanyu. Going to keep boosting down into this hairpin. Chances all the time, and there's some chances. P10, P14, 15 now for Zhou Guanyu. Can we get any more? We're trying. Can't get that. So we'll cut down. We've used that race start to our advantage as we try and get another position. Not quite. This is the stacking where everyone is running similar tyres, similar strategies. And Tsunoda's going backwards on Herald. And look at Merlion for Zhou Guanyu closing down Tsunoda. Very interesting, isn't it, that? There again, Zhou Guanyu coming through on Merlion. Is Merlion the powerful wet boost that we're all after? As he also goes backwards. So we're going to do a 4-4 with Tsunoda. We're just looking after the power unit for now to attack when we pit. Zhou Guanyu is going to be pitting this lap. A real early pit stop in the hope that we can do this glorious undercut that we all know and love. Down to the hairpin again. Gasly goes up the inside. That's okay though. We're not going to lose too much sleep over that. Tsunoda will carry on for one more. Here comes Zhou Guanyu's in. Good stop needed. So we're going to come out in the smallest bit of space. But we can start to close the gap. Same with Tsunoda when he pits. So we're right at the back of these now, so we'll cut down. Because we're going to struggle to get past, although we can try in the hairpin. And there's one. We'll cut back down. While it's chock-a-block, it's going to be very hard to overtake. Can we get another one though? We're going to pick them off like flies. As Sonoda now comes out of the pits too, and he's out into a bit of traffic. So will this work? Everyone around us still to pit. Everybody. And we're trying. Sonoda and Zhou Guanyu both there. Oh, nearly a move. Reason we're pushing is to try and get as many cars as we can here. And we are P21 and 20. Here comes everyone in. We're boosting Sonoda. And you can see the carnage that's happening. And it's P11. So we've moved up a few positions. Definitely didn't work as best as I wanted it to. But it's not too bad. And we've still got some to pit, but they're not going to bother us at all. Considering they're too far ahead now. So we can try and do this on the track. We'll take it at the minute though. A bit more practice tomorrow. Or at the weekend, or whenever we get Canada in the wet again is needed. But at the minute, it's P13 and P9. Just going to earn some power unit back again. There's Zhou Guanyu looking at the back of Bottas. Is there a move against the Alfa Romeo man? Nearly. We managed to cut down by accident then. Still holding us up like mad here. As the rain, if you can hear it, is absolutely hammering it down in the UK right now. And Sonoda hammering it past Magnussen. Zhou Guanyu looks like he's lost a spot, maybe not. And he's not going to get anywhere really further than P8. Maybe one last attack on Zhou Guanyu could be in. But Sonoda comes around the final time at the hairpin. And Zhou Guanyu is bang there with the Mercedes, who gets past. And it is P8 for Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to cross the line in P13 for Zhou Guanyu. Simply undercut. Could have been better. We could have got a better race start. But in the end, I'll take 29 points with some lessons learned. I think it needs a bit more attacking in the early part of that race to build the gaps. So 29 points we shall take at the end of qualifying. Make sure you let me know down below how you got on in these some interesting tracks this week. And in champion so far, Robza with a big score of 176. That's a massive score for Robza. But for ourselves, it's 140. So 30 points race 1, 36, 45. And I'm kind of disappointed with the 29 points in the end of Canada. But fingers crossed, we've got the opening round and final round to come at the weekend. And we'll put in a better performance that sees us maybe in podium contention.